Hello, you gorgeous human beings. This video is part 2. It's the follow-up to the Client Clarity Quadrant video that I posted yesterday. And the context is, these are the 2 things that you have to nail if you are going to crack the 5K in revenue mark. And I also just want to say that as somebody who has now created over 8 figures in revenue since I started in this business, which is 12 years ago, I'm coming into my 13th year, this is still what I am thinking about. And I'm no longer thinking about 7-figure years, I'm thinking about 7-figure revenue streams. So these are the things, these are the questions I'm asking myself. This is the time that I am spending before I'm going to market, before I'm launching, before I'm posting. I am making sure that I'm clear on the Client Clarity Quadrant. That is linked somewhere on this video. And this is the second piece, really important. If you think about how you've received, even just this last minute of the video, how would you describe my tone? I'm hoping that you are thinking of words like confident, certain, convicted. This woman is speaking like she knows what she's talking about. We talk about this in sales a lot. People buy certainty. And the second element that goes hand in hand with your clarity about who you are, about who your client is, about what the problem is, and about what the transformation is that they want, the second part is conviction. And so many new coaches or coaches who have been around for a long time but aren't really making any money, broke ass coaches, struggle with being convicted in knowing that the outcome that they have is an absolute Bobby Dazzler. Bobby Dazzler, for everybody who is not in the UK, is just smashing. Like amazing. It's going to get you where you want to go. As long as you are working with a dreamboat client. So it's never going to be for everybody. It's never going to work for everybody. But you're going to bring 100%. Your framework, you know your framework works for your dreamboat client. And when your dreamboat client brings 100%, not 75%, not 60%, not 30%, not 85%, but 100%, and you bring 100%, you create the result that they have asked for. You are able to confidently say, this is what you are going to get. And so many times, and I get it, I completely understand it. But so many times in the beginning of somebody's career, they are looking for outside validation from their clients or from their potential clients. And what I see happening, so the way that we work is that for every 6 months you spend in our program, you have to do 60 hours worth of practice coaching. This is for people who are wanting to train as a world-class transformational coach. So for every 6 months, you have to do 60 hours worth of practice calls. And for these calls, the exchange is minimal, but there is a monetary exchange. I think that that's really important. I think it's really important that you get used to asking for money as a coach early. And I think that it's useful for the person who is investing their time and their energy, even though you are new, the pricing reflects that, it illustrates their commitment. It's like, I'm not just doing this because I'm free, I'm doing this because I have a problem and I want that problem fixed, and this is my investment in the process. I think that is really important. What happens is that they'll help people at £50, they'll help people at £100, and they will still negate their skill set, and they will mentally think, oh, this doesn't count because it was a practice client. And when I've worked with a real client, then I will feel confident. when that real client reflects to me that they have got results, then I will feel confident. But then what I see is the real client somehow does not count. And it's because they are comparing themselves to people like me who have been in the industry for, many, many years. They're comparing their page 5 with somebody else's chapter 17 and saying, I'm not as good as them, so therefore I cannot. That energy is never going to help you create a profitable and sustainable business. You have to put your reps in. So I am not saying just go out there and blindly be like, I can help everybody, but understanding the transformation that you can make, after you have been in the program for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you're going to have tools. And the secret is to be very narrow in your promise. I'm not going to say that I can help you solve your entire life problems after 6 weeks, but actually I've learned enough to help you with a pattern interrupt when it comes to biting your nails, or I've learned enough to help you understand what is the thing that is getting in your way when it comes to being able to stand up with confidence and speak powerfully in your boardroom. That is the one thing that we are going to work on, and that has value. And then when you get the result, when you help the client get the result, you own that experience. You ask for a testimonial and you allow that testimonial to mean something. And in my own case, I was my own best testimonial to begin with. Now, I had a hypnobirthing business and I had to build the brand and I had to build an email list and I had to sell the programs. And so by the time I'd sold 10 programs at £97, I knew how to make £1,000 online. And then I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again until that business was earning around £50,000 or £60,000 a year. And at that point, I was like, I really want to show other birthing professionals how they can make their first £1,000 online. I didn't have any testimonials, but I had a lot of experience. I allowed that experience to be enough, and I owned it. So that when I was speaking about the process, because I was coming from an embodied place, a process that I had used and I had seen worked, I could speak with this level of conviction even back then. So you have to combine the clarity with the conviction. And it's these two things together, this certainty, that will help you build your business. It will take conversations and turn them into conversions. This is what is absolutely required by every single coach. And what goes without saying is that this works when you put the reps in, when you know what it is that you are doing. And most people, because they feel insecure about where they are at, they then suffer with a very real experience of imposter syndrome because they start promising the world. I was so happy to start with, I'll teach you how to make £1,000. I was so happy to do that. I was so happy to do that for pre and postnatal specialists. That was my wheelhouse. And because I wasn't trying to be anybody else, because I was willing to start where I was at, I was able to make £126,000 in my second year in business, which is no mean feat. I absolutely know that you can do the same thing too. When you combine the clarity, the Client Clarity Quadrant with conviction, you cannot lose. I hope that this has been super helpful, and I look forward to seeing you very soon with more tips and advice on how to, 1, be a world-class coach, and 2, build a world-class coaching business.